So he can't effing guard you, huh?
Sorry?
He can't effing guard you?
Who said that?
You said that.
I didn't say that. I was speaking Slovenian.
Take us through what you're looking for that last play, kind of how it developed, and just the emotion after that shot goes through.
I don't decide what I'm going to look before the play. I just see what defense gives me. I didn't expect that we're going to switch. We're just going to play that pick and roll. I told you live. Come and we'll just figure out from there. That's about it. Read the defense.
Luka, what was the approach in the last minute 29? You guys went from being up to being, I think, down 5. You had the challenge on the baseline. Kyrie hit a shot. You hit that, like, the poise that you guys have. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, like I always say, stay together, positive energy. At some point, we're down 18 on the road, which is insane to come back. So we believe till the end of the buzzer.
Jason said that there was no plan necessarily to go for a 2 or 3 during that. When do you make a decision that I'm going to go for the step back? Was it when you got the switch on Rudy? Was it just all instinct?
I don't really know. I can't answer that. I just saw some space, decided to shoot a 3. Get to my spot, step back. That's it. But I just decided, I saw some space.
Jason talked about the good talk you had at halftime. What was the gist of that, and what was the biggest change or biggest adjustment you guys made?
I think we talk about that last 3-4 minutes where we play with energy. We said we need to play like that. We're getting stops, especially boxing out, and then our pace got to be high. So those 3-4 minutes we took as example.
And your thoughts right now on being up 2-0 in a series, 2 wins from the NBA Finals?
Great, but like I say, first to 4, nothing is won. We got to just think about next game, not in the future, not in the present, this game. So we just got to think about next game. That's it.
You went to the locker room real quick at the end of the first. You good?
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. You've had a lot of game winners now throughout your career. Do you know where this one ranks? Is it way too soon to even start thinking about this?
Too soon.
Yeah.
No, I'm tired. I can't really think.
Well, do you have a favorite that comes to mind when you think about all the different ones you've hit over the years?
I don't know. I think the one in the bubble was pretty good, but no crowd. I imagine that with crowd would be insane. Then the one in where? Memphis, yeah.
The falling down on the one hand.
That was a tough shot. There was no crowd again, too, so I think those 2.
And then last one, when Nasri got the final shot off and it was in the air, what were you thinking as it was traveling there?
I wasn't thinking. I almost passed out. That was looking good, too good. Sure. Yeah. Oh, my God. He could have missed today.
But you had more success attacking downhill in the second half. What opened up for you to be able to have that success?
Let me think. Just driving mentality, I don't know, man. I don't know. You asked me some other question. I don't know. I was just attacking. I don't know. You have any other question?
What have you thought about, the play of Derek Lively, him closing out the game? What are your thoughts on that?
There we go. No, amazing. He's been amazing this season, these playoffs. He took now 1, not 2, 3 steps forward. He's a rookie. I think people forget this sometimes. He's doing this in the Western Conference Finals, which is insane. So his ceiling is going to be huge.
Yeah, the utmost confidence in my brother, man. Got a great switch on Rudy, and I know exactly what he was thinking, so it was just time to get ready for the magic to happen. And got to his move, shot it with confidence, as we know he'll always do, and took us home tonight, man. it's one of those wins where we could look back on and reflect and really be proud of ourselves. And, the little things that it took to get this win tonight, we can carry on to Game 3. But we also understand that it's no time to be satisfied. We got 40 minutes to celebrate, and we got to get on this plane, go back to Dallas, and get ready for another hard-fought battle, because that team is not going to give up. And you know exactly what they're capable of. They've shown it in spurts throughout the first 2 games, and they're taking us down to the wire. So we just got to be aware that there's some luck involved, there's some fortune involved, shots not going in for them down the stretch. But we felt like we earned enough we did enough tonight to get this win. So I'm proud of our guys.
What is it about him that makes him so special in those moments?
I think it's just his confidence and his fearless mentality. I've been talking about these young guys, but Luka's, alongside JT and Jaylen Brown, Trey Young, a few other guys that, I haven't named, but they're part of that next generation that has that no fear mentality where they'll shoot from the parking lot, man, and and it'll look like it's a great shot, because they've been practicing it since they were young. So he's prepared for these moments, and he's built for these moments. So when things like that happen, I'm not surprised, but as a brother, I'm just nothing short of proud.
What do you think of the impact that Derek Lively's made all season long, but particularly in these playoffs as a rookie?
He's been doing great. I can echo Luka's sentiments. Just seeing a rookie do this is very impressive, and he falls right alongside a lot of the great ones that have come before him that probably weren't in the top 10 in towards the top 15 in terms of talent before he got drafted, but now I think he's making a lot of guys and a lot of women eat their words in terms of what he's capable of and his potential. He's shown it day in and day out. When he's healthy and he's on the floor, he makes a big difference. I mean, you look at our record in the beginning of the season when he was out of the lineup, when he was in the lineup, I think that was the telltale sign of how our team was going to be built. And if we have a 5-man that's athletic, that's able to catch lobs, that's able to play defense, that's able to make passes, and also communicate very well for someone his age, especially to older guys. He has that no fear mentality as well. So I'm proud of him, and I know that he's been working diligently and doing a lot of stuff that no one sees to help himself prepare mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually.
And not to bum you out, but what's going through your mind when you missed those 2 free throws?
You're not going to bum me out about that, Tim. Yeah, you could bring it up, bro. It's basketball, man. Like, the game's over now. Now we can talk about it, man. I don't want to get fined, but I was just like, holy, oh, gosh, like, what the heck is going on, man? Like, a lot of emotion was going through my head, and, there's a brief moment of disappointment. The fans are going crazy. I think we got them free chicken, right? Something like that. So, the fans are going crazy, and, rightfully so. They were cheering their butts off, and when I missed it, I think I was as surprised as a lot of people in the arena. But in those moments, I got to stay focused and be aware of, just how big it means, how much it means to our team to make those, and I'm been in that moment, but when you miss, you also have to take that accountability and be better. And the next play mentality was the only thing I could carry forth, and I got in that corner, knocked it down, and got a deflection off of Jaden, and it felt good to be able to make those plays up. So the game's not over, especially when you miss 2 free throws. That goes out for all the younger generation that's watching. Those mistakes could weigh on you mentally, and you could carry that into the next game too. So it's time to just leave that here and praying I make all my free throws when I get back home, and that focus is there, man.
At the beginning of the fourth quarter, after Luka had come back from his second trip to the locker room, he was bent over at the scoring table, and you went over and said something to him, and it looked like you just asked him if he was okay. Yeah. And what did he say back to you?
He said yeah. He said yeah. It wasn't a long conversation. I was telling him, from the beginning of the game, just you have guys out here that have your back, and whenever you need me to take over, I will, take over the point guard responsibilities and bring the ball up and just get him to his spots, and then he comes out and hits a step back 3. So I think I was like, I think you're fine, So there are moments where he shows just brilliance and he scores so easily, and then he comes back and he looks like he's laboring a little bit. But that guy's a warrior. I'm never worried about him, and him going back to the locker room and coming back out just shows how much he cares about playing well for this team and being a leader on this team.
How often in your career have you seen a guy play through all these problems that he's having now, and you don't really notice it? I mean, considering what the outcome is.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's it's not an uncommon thing in our league for guys to play injured, but when somebody is asked to score as much as he is and asked to do as much, and also he pushes himself, to the ultimate measure, he wants to be great. He already is a great player, but I think he wants to be great in his mind and his life. So for us, we just want to continue to support him. And when he's out there not feeling well, we all are aware of it. But this is why we're a team. This is why we have a supportive cast. This is why we believe we're one of the best teams in the world, and we got to go prove it because it could be anybody's night. And if Luka's not playing well or not hitting his shots offensively, we don't want him to feel that burden. It's unfair to him. He's a young kid. So I'll take that burden at times, and other guys will take that burden, and we'll just be able to stay fluid, stay connected.
Kyrie, you're an all-timer. You played with an all-time great when you were younger in LeBron James. Now you're playing with a potential all-time great. What's it like to see that ascension from the veteran perspective now that you're the older guy?
Man, it's amazing. You make it sound like I'm like 38 already, and I'm the young guy of the older generation. I came in when I was 19, so I know I was trailing along around that older generation that's been around for a while. But for me personally, I'm amazed. Just I don't use that word lightly either. I'm amazed just on how much time he puts on his body and how much time he puts on his craft. And also, I've been saying it, but just that no-fear mentality, man, that confidence that he carries, he walks around with it. And, of course, the awards come along with that, too, and the expectations come along. I think he's answered a lot of calls. When Luka first came into the league, there were a lot of questions on what he was going to turn out to be and who he was going to be. And, I know a few people are eating their words, too. So watching him ascend into becoming an all-time great is amazing, and I don't take it for granted because, like you said, I play with one of the greatest of all time, arguably the greatest of all time, up there with the top 3, top 4, and dealt with a lot of that criticism and pressure, shielding us from it as teammates. And I think you see the same things that happen and occur with some of the greatest players that play. They take on a lot of pressure and they love it, and they relish in it, and they love answering that call. So for me, I just want to be supportive and continue to be an all-time great next to him and continue to show him the ropes and let him continue to fly, man. He's already been doing it.
It seemed like Luka really found a rhythm attacking downhill in the second half. As someone who commands such aggressive defensive, attention and coverages, and someone who shares that perspective as well, what are the challenges in a playoff setting to kind of continue to focus on attacking the paint instead of maybe settling for jump shots or taking those types of shots?
Yeah, well, some of the greatest scorers to play this game, or greatest offensive threats, have been able to play that in-between game, have been able to make plays for others, and when they figure out how to make their teammates better, they become that much greater. So I feel like myself and Luka, we figured that out to a certain degree where we get the best out of our guys, and they know how to feed us good energy. We know how to feed them good energy. And when the ball's hopping around, or when guys are being aggressive and taking advantage of the first opportunity that they have and just making quick decisions, it does a lot for our team. Fluidity, just in how we play and our pace. And when we're getting up and down the floor, we're a tough team to beat.
Is there any advice that you've given Luka on that so-called road to being an all-time great after, what you've learned from playing alongside LeBron and your own trajectory yourself?
I mean, I play with a few guys that are all-time greats. I want to say that too. So I've had the opportunity to see them work on their crafts and also deal with a lot of the outside criticism. And again, the common trait that they share is just their ability to block out the noise and do the right things every single day. Work on their bodies, take care of themselves, and then also have fun with the game and know how to empower their teammates. So I've tried to just give little bits and pieces of nuggets of advice to Luka to help him because when I'm out of the league and he's continuing to run it, if he doesn't retire early, leave it up to him to probably. If he doesn't retire early, then he'll be doing what I'm doing right now, except in his own way. And that's a beautiful thing to see. When I could pass on the knowledge and wisdom that was given to me and explain it to him and encourage him to be better, then I feel like I'm doing my job. And that's not just as a basketball player, that's just as a person. He's a young man. I'm a young man as well. And he's going to have a lot more years after the game living life than when he's playing. So this is cool and all, being a leader and being called a leader in the locker room and stuff like that, but he's going to have to lead his family, be a father one day, and those are the most important things that I try to echo to him. It's just being a family man and continuing to put the things that matter to you first, you know. Last one? 2 more? Okay, 2 more. One more?
Okay. I know I'm trying to get you home, man.
No, you good. I'm messing around with Allie. You good.
But I know I've talked to you about you being a leader and having your brothers lean on you.
Mm-hmm.
But in what I told Kid is a rare occurrence for you, how did it feel to have your brothers to lean on?
It feels incredible. It feels incredible. Are you talking about tonight? Just
yes.
After tonight? Yeah, man. Especially when I missed those free throws. Because as a young player, I definitely would have been wallowing in my emotions, and that would have carried over into the next game, and the confidence that I had would have been a little shot. It would have been a little hit. But now, just feeling the embrace, leaving the court, and knowing that this is a team success journey that we're on. You know, this is our moment. So whether we play well or whether we don't, we all know that we're brothers and we're proud of each other. So those little things matter for me. They go a long way. Even at my age, just that affirmation that everything's going to be good and you're good, man, don't worry about it. That went a long way for me when we came to the locker room, but also when I was on the court, because I was definitely feeling it after I missed those free throws. Excuse me.
One last one for you. Obviously, when you have a game-winning shot like this, it kind of blots out a lot of the rest of the game. But I'm curious, when you think back through this one and the comeback you guys made, what are the other moments that stick out for you as being significant or big plays? Anything else that you think is worth calling out?
I mean, they beat us in the first 2 quarters, and I think we're going to see film, and we're going to see that there were a lot of correctables there. There were a lot of energy plays that we didn't get to. There were a few transition baskets that they got. Naz Reid, hit a few threes tonight that were very timely. And he was keeping them in the game tonight. And, he's 7 for 9 from 3, 8 for 13 for the game. I mean, coming off the bench, that's a big-time performance. And I don't want to let Luka's game winner overshadow some of the things that we can get better at. And I'll leave that to the coaching staff. But for me, I know I definitely can be better on the defensive end. I picked up some stupid fouls and some things that I can definitely improve on in terms of positioning defensively. And then offensively, just taking my time. There are a few shots that I missed. So just taking advantage of our end-of-quarter opportunities and looking back at how we consistently win quarters, because that's going to be the difference in this series. Of course, you want to get to the end of the game. You want it to be close. You want to be in the game. But if we can consistently win quarters and do it convincingly, I feel like this series can turn in our favor. But if not, we're going to see games like tonight where they're in the game or they're up double digits and they feel confident. Their home crowd's getting into it. A little bit different when we obviously go to Dallas, but here you can tell that they were playing off that energy, and we just want to continue to make things difficult on the defensive end and improve what we can improve on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice win. Can you just talk a little bit about the second half and what changed for you guys? What was? I mean, Jason said you had a nice talk at halftime. What was the difference? What was the biggest adjustment for you guys?
Really, just our energy. We knew they were going to come out, throw the first punch. It was going to be real. The energy was going to be through the roof tonight. We knew that for sure. And just coming in at halftime, we just told ourselves just kind of like be patient, take it one step at a time, and just chip away at the end of the day. So that was pretty much the conversation. We kind of came together and just tried to find a way to just bring this one out.
And of course, we asked Luka about his last shot, but you're the one you were falling to the floor on somehow. Take us through that one.
I mean, at the end of the day, I just threw it up there, in all honesty, and like when it comes to that, that's called a prayer shot in my world at the end of the day. So I just tried to get positioning, tried to make sure I had my eyes on the basket, and I just, threw it up there, let the man upstairs handle it, and he put it in the basket for me. So, yeah.
Daniel, what is this moment for you guys, knowing that if you go home and win the 2 games, you don't have to come back in and you go to the NBA Finals?
I mean, we just got to take it one game at a time. We can enjoy this until, we get back to Dallas, but they're going to come back and they're going to come, for sure pissed off when it comes to coming to our home. We took 2 here. We just got to make sure we would stand just like that first punch if they come home and throw that first punch. But we ready for anything, I feel like.
I know they threw the first punch, but was it anything in particular that was going on when you guys fell down by 18?
Not necessarily. They were just hitting shots. It was a couple of mishaps that when it came to just like rotations. Nas got going. He hit a couple of threes. Got the energy going throughout the team. They was getting a lot of rebounds, getting a lot of second chance points in all honesty. And it was just being a little bit more physical than us. So we just had to kind of like take that step in the right direction. I feel like we did that tonight.
Dan, Luka's last shot there, does it surprise you at all that they don't blitz him, get the ball out of his hands? What's your kind of thoughts on, as that's breaking down, like, what are you thinking?
I mean, I really can't even put it into words, you know. At the end of the day, we put the ball in one of the right guys' hands, and he for sure, I would say, gave us something that we knew he was going to come out with at the end of the day. He said it was a lucky shot, but I feel like it's one of the shots that he works on a day-to-day basis. So,
what was going through your head when that ball's in the air?
On the Luka shot, I was like, that was money. Most def. I mean, he got the spacing that he wanted when it came to Rudy switching on to him, and Rudy did his best to stay with him. And I felt like, you know, Rudy got a good contest, but he got the shot, you know, pretty much high in the air to where it needed to be to go in.
Even with, like you say, your prayer shot, you had 5 blocks, and you and D Live made sure that you not only were on help defense, but you made sure that you got.
Really? I didn't. I did not. I thought I at least had 3.
Well, you had 5.
Okay.
So, how do you assess you and D Live being able to help now on defense and to make sure that you guys maintain the victory?
I mean, we just feed off each other's energy at the end of the day. You know, we always are in a film session trying to figure out ways how to be better than the game before, in all honesty, and just keeping each other motivated, which everybody does on the team. Everybody, you know, gives us that energy that we need to just go out and just win basketball games at the end of the day. You know, so when it comes to him, whenever I'm coming out of the game, I tell him to be a monster, and he does the same to me, you know.
When Luka hits a shot like that and then he's barking at Rudy, how would you assess his trash talking?
I would say pretty common. You know, I done seen a lot of stuff that Luka has said, and I done been on the same end of where Rudy was in a couple of times where I've played against Luka. At the end of the day, his trash talk is different, especially when he gets to talking in his own language. That's a different type of trash talk. So, you know, you just gotta give, you know, credit where credit is due, I would say, because, you know, he knocked down the shot, he talks trash afterwards, just pat him on the back and just keep going.
It sounds like tonight he stuck to English, though.
Yeah, for sure, most definitely. From what I heard, he stuck to English, most definitely.
It was French and English, I believe. But on another note, you guys, back to you and D Live. You guys were very efficient above the rim. How does it feel when you guys are able to get on the inside in a game like this?
I mean, it just feels good because, you know, we're making an impact at the end of the day. We're trying to find the seams and just what can, you know, put us in position to where we can help the team, in all honesty. And we just, you know, found the positioning. We got in the right spots at the right times, and our guards found us, you know, whether it was rebounding, where we tipped it out and we had a second chance opportunity to pretty much go down and get downhill and get shots up. And, you know, we just got the right guys downhill, and everybody just put trust in us to just finish around the basket, and that's what we did tonight.
We're Rudy, and they've been doing that pretty much, you know, there in the fourth quarter. So once we got Luka the ball, we wanted to give him space and let him do what he does. And I thought he set him up for the step back because of him attacking the paint over and over. You know, Rudy has to honor that. And so with Luka's ability to create space in that, you know, moment, as you've seen with Luka, he loves that stage. And he doesn't run from it, and he made a big shot. I thought he was great the whole game, keeping the guys together. His energy, knowing that we didn't play well there in that first half, but we came out, we had a good talk at halftime, and the guys worked the game, and we found ourselves in a game. Made it a little harder with missed free throws, but again, Luka is special, and he loves those type of moments.
And obviously you mentioned didn't play well early, down 18. What did you think were the biggest keys to dig out of that?
Well, we've never been in that situation before, so I think we were just kind of, you know, we were competing, but you got to give Minnesota's a really good team, well coached, and they came out and they were aggressors. They took advantage of us kind of, you know, being competitive, but not where we have been here during this playoff run. And I thought we talked about it at halftime. We worked the game. We trusted one another, and we found a way to win on the road.
We're down 5, I think, with 1:29 left. The poise, the focus, like there was no panic. It didn't seem like in those last moments. That challenge was big, pretty big, to just speak to how you guys are ready to handle these moments on the road in this environment.
Yeah, great question and great observation. I think just the trust and calmness of the group. We could have easily just got on the bus and went home after Kai missed the 2 free throws. But again, our defense, we believe in our defense. We got stops. Give a lot of credit to our bench of keeping the energy in a positive way, keeping those guys up. And then Keith made a great call of the challenge. He said, let's challenge it. He was on the baseline standing, so he had good eyes on it. And that's the trust. I trusted that Smooth was telling me the truth. We challenged it, and we found, we won that challenge. And so it's a team effort, great team win. Everybody played their part at a high level tonight, even the guys who didn't play.
Could you mentioned the good talk at halftime. Can you impart a little bit about maybe what that was, and also what were the biggest changes into the second half, which you guys took care of?
Yeah, I thought, we weren't playing, Mavs basketball. I thought, again, just understanding what we had to do. We weren't rebounding the ball. We were getting the misses. And then we weren't covering the 3 as well as we've talked about. And then, Reed was 7 for 8. It seemed like every shot he took, he made. But I thought the group responded to the conversation that we had at halftime. And it's hard to win on the road, but it's even harder to win in the playoffs. And that group responded. Just understanding they worked the game. We knew we couldn't get it all back in one shot. So it was a great job of just executing the game and finding a way to win on the road.
And also the play of Gafford and Lively. I mean, they shooting almost 90% and I think get you 30 and 14.
It's a good tandem. I thought Gaff was a lot better tonight. D-Live has been D-Live. He's playing well. Again, for a young man who's a rookie playing late in the playoffs, the trust that his teammates have with him on the floor, on the offensive end and the defensive end, has shown. And he's going to be a special one as his journey continues. But our bigs were really good tonight.
You said it felt like Naz Reid made every shot. Did you hold your breath as the last shot went through the air?
Well, I said they found a hot guy. I was like, damn. A hell of a play, great look. The ball just bounced our way, so we got lucky.
With Luka, you talk a lot about not taking him for granted. When you see this, probably as much as anybody, you see practice, you see all his games, you see all of this. Is it hard for you sometimes? Do you have to remind yourself, just personally, not to take him for granted?
Oh, I'm not taking him from granted. Just understanding who he is and what he's about, he's special, and I said that since I've been here. He loves the moment. He's not afraid of the moment. One of the plays that I thought was big was a reversal of him coming up with an offensive tip to Kai, where Kai has done that with the offensive tip in Oklahoma series, with the tip to Luka for 3. It was like role reversal. I think Kai just missed it. But it was just, he's trying to do everything, all the little plays on the defensive end and the offensive end, and he can carry that load, and he's doing that for us right now.
Even with the rare occurrence from Kai missing those free throws, the backcourt still facilitated and made sure that everyone stayed grounded. What was the emphasis of your call, gameplay, and everything like that?
Yeah, we were, it was kind of role reversal. Luka was going early, Kai, so we wanted to get him out early. Kai had great looks that just didn't go down, but the beauty of this team is just the positivity, the energy. If someone isn't struggling, everyone's picking up each other and everyone's connected. And so everyone just kept telling Kai to keep doing what he was going to do. And I thought in the fourth he he showed up like Luka did, and he played at a high level for us on the offensive end. After missing those free throws, he makes a big three in the corner, and so that just shows that no one quit. You know, everybody played to the end, and that's what makes this group special.
Jason, you had pointed out last couple of days several times that you guys didn't win game one in the first 2 rounds. So when you get the first game, human nature a lot of times is teams to basically get ready to go home, and you have the split. How did you handle the messaging in terms of, no, let's get greedy and get 2 here?
Yeah, I think there's only one guy who's won a championship, so we have to be hungry. And when we talk about Kai, it's easy for Kai to, send that message, but I think for the group, there's a trust between the coaches and players to players. And the last 2 days, we've talked about that we're down. Like, we haven't done anything. And this group is one that's not going to quit. They continue to play to the end. Even if we ended up losing this game, it's about, playing the game the right way for 48 minutes. And that's what we've done, here of late. And that's what we truly believe in. And so it's been fun to be around these guys. These guys have a lot of fun, but when it comes to work, they're trying to do their job at a high level. And everyone concentrates on Luka and Kai, but the role players do their part and are embraced by the stars. And that's what, again, makes this team special. Yeah, he can come. You need to talk to him.